Saddam Hussein and his sons must leave Iraq within 48 hours. Their refusal to do so will result in military conflict, commenced at a time of our choosing.
20 years ago, in the wake of the attacks of September 11, 2001, the US began its invasion by launching cruise missiles and laser-guided bombs against leadership targets in Baghdad. Though no weapons of mass destruction, the public rationale for the invasion were ever found, military success at first seemed swift. After toppling, then capturing President Saddam Hussein, there was little post-invasion planning. Iraqi society essentially collapsed. The US banned the former ruling Ba'ath Party and disbanded the Iraqi military, leading to an insurgency that saw US combat deaths spike and the spending of trillions of dollars. Iraqis were angry at the US. Sectarian divisions marred post-Saddam politics. Civil strife led to a crisis bordering on civil war. In December 2008, one Iraqi journalist summed up the anger of many Iraqis by throwing his shoes at then-President George W. Bush. 3 US presidents later, Iraqis still remember the chaos of the US attacks.
During the war, we lived the bombing, gunfire, and explosions with fear and anxiety. We were not comfortable. The situation is now better, and we remember the days of the war, but we hope they're gone for good.
In 2008, US President Barack Obama was elected due in part to the failure of the Iraq War. He called it dumb and vowed to bring US troops home.
Let me say this as plainly as I can. By August 31st, 2010, our combat mission in Iraq will end.
But that created a vacuum quickly filled by ISIS, a radical Islamic group that moved in from Syria and conquered vast amounts of territory, even threatening Baghdad. Some US troops returned, and a bloody counterattack finally pushed ISIS back. The true death toll in Iraq may never be known. Estimates range from 100,000 to more than 1 million dead. In terms of the financial cost, the US estimates range from $1 to $3 trillion. Money that could have been spent on roads, schools, railways, and other big neglected projects. 20 years on, the main lesson that doesn't seem to have been learned by the US is having the world's most powerful military that you can deploy around the world at a moment's notice doesn't always yield results. And in fact, here, 20 years on, few people talk about the Iraq War. And even on this anniversary, some voices here in Washington are starting to say, well, it wasn't the disaster it was made out to be. They point to growing GDP figures in Iraq over the last 20 years and the removal of Saddam Hussein. Meanwhile, US troops still remain in the country. Nathan King, CGTN, Washington.